Welcome to Z Stories, where mysteries come to life and the unknown lurks in the shadows. If you love eerie tales, spine-chilling stories, and unsolved mysteries, then you're in the right place. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Z Stories for more thrilling content. Now let's dive into today's story, The Mirror Curse. It all started with an old mirror. No one knew exactly where it came from, but it had been in the town for centuries, passed from one owner to another, leaving behind whispers of tragedy. It was said that whoever looked into the mirror at midnight under the right conditions would see something they were never meant to see. Some believed it was a glimpse into another world. Others thought it was a gateway to the unknown. But those who truly knew the tale feared it for something much worse. Amelia had always been fascinated by urban legends. A young journalist with an insatiable curiosity, she stumbled upon the legend of the mirror while researching cursed objects for an article. The deeper she dug, the more sinister the stories became. People disappearing, strange deaths, and terrifying encounters, all linked to this one mirror. She was determined to find out the truth. She managed to track the mirror down to an antique shop on the outskirts of town. The shopkeeper, an old man with weary eyes, warned her against it. He spoke of a curse that had plagued the mirror's owners for generations. He claimed that once a person looked into it at the right moment, something beyond human comprehension would take notice. Amelia dismissed it as superstition, and against his warnings, bought the mirror, determined to experience the truth for herself. That night, she set up a camera and prepared to document everything. Midnight arrived and she stood before the mirror, staring into its depths. At first, nothing happened, just her reflection, staring back at her. But then something shifted. Her reflection didn't move in sync with her anymore. It was subtle at first, a twitch, a blink that was slightly delayed. Then to her horror, the reflection smiled, a cruel, knowing smile, while her own face remained still. Panic surged through her as she stumbled back, but the reflection stepped forward. The mirror's surface rippled like water, and the reflection reached out, its hand pressing against the glass. Amelia turned to run, but the room suddenly felt different, colder, unfamiliar. When she looked back, the mirror showed an empty room. Her reflection was gone. But worse, when she turned to the window, her own reflection was still there, staring at her from the glass. She was no longer in her world. The days that followed were a nightmare. She would see herself in places she hadn't been. The reflection of herself would watch her from puddles, store windows, and even the sheen of a spoon. It mimicked her perfectly at times, but at others it moved independently, staring, waiting. And then one night, she woke up to find herself unable to move, her body frozen in place while her reflection in the mirror walked toward her. The mirror version of her leaned in close, whispering words she couldn't understand, but she felt them, deep in her bones, a promise, a threat. When she finally broke free from the paralysis, the reflection was gone. But now the real horror began. Her memories felt fragmented. She would wake up in places she didn't remember going to. Friends started looking at her strangely, avoiding her. And then she saw herself in the crowd one day, standing far away, staring at her with that same eerie smile. She knew then that she had to get rid of the mirror. Desperation drove her back to the antique shop, but when she arrived, the shop was abandoned, as if it had never existed. Panicked, she sought out historians, researchers, anyone who could give her answers. Finally, she found an old journal belonging to a woman from the 1800s who had written about the mirror. The woman had experienced the same horrors. Her final entry was a warning. The only way to break the curse was to trap someone else inside. Amelia faced an impossible choice. She couldn't condemn someone else, but she couldn't live like this anymore. The figure in her reflection was growing bolder, closer. It was waiting for the right moment to take her place. With a heavy heart, she made her decision. A week later, the mirror appeared in another antique shop, waiting for its next victim. Amelia was gone. Somewhere in some forgotten world behind the glass, she watched, helpless, as someone else unknowingly brought the mirror home. The cycle continues. The mirror curse never ends. So the next time you glance at your reflection, take a closer look. Are you sure it's really you looking back? Thank you for watching Z Stories. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying tales. Until next time, be careful what you see in the mirror.